And she was explaining to me that her philosophy of parenting is, if a child is, if your child is crying, some people say to let the baby cry it out. My parents' philosophy was that is the child is trying to tell you something, trying to communicate a need for survival. And if that need for survival is met, then the child can move on to the next level. So it's kind of like a pyramid of needs for survival, and like food, shelter, emotional needs, so forth, in order to thrive. So if your basic needs are met, then you're able to move forward and to keep growing. But if your basic needs are not met, then it turns into a trauma. And so what I'm saying, what my teaching of that is right now, is since I'm working with a part of me that feels that needs were not met. Now, I'm not putting this on my parents or anybody. I'm just saying, however my wiring is, whatever happened within me that made me susceptible to feeling that way, I'm going back to that and I'm saying, okay, I hear you, and I'm leveling with it. I'm going to that level, and it's really hard to do when you have an ego. And trust me, everybody here has an ego. You wouldn't be alive if you didn't. So something that this process has given me is a big challenge to my ego, which is to say, I wasn't ready to accept how vulnerable I felt, and how, if those needs didn't feel met, how I was just continuing to create traumas within my life. So here's something that I wanted to kind of pose for your own questioning within yourself about mental health and spirituality is, are you able to meet yourself where you really are? Or are you trying to be something else? Are you trying to expose yourself to a degree that you are creating more traumas or more obstacles in your life? I'm posing this question because I've spent 3 years basically just trying to do exposure therapy, which is among many other things, but the big one is exposure therapy, which is basically about putting yourself in front of things that scare you, things that make you anxious, things that you don't want to look at. And I think, in other terms, you could call that spiritual bypass. There's so many ways that people do that, and so many ways that I've seen people do that. And the main reason, again, why I felt more distance with a lot of people. Mental health and spirituality, again, these things are not separate. I'm just posing these as something to think about, I guess. Something to think about, but I think a lot of people think if I'm really spiritual, then I won't have to look at anxiety, I won't have to look at fear, I won't have to look at guilt, I won't have to look at shame, I won't have to look at, trauma. Well, that's not exactly how it works. And how I know that is because I have touched some of the most beautiful things, some of the most peak experiences that people try to get on drugs. And this was a long time ago. Well, maybe not to most of you. I was 16, so I'm 23 now, so not that long ago. I've had a lot of peak experiences of that oneness and that unconditional love. And you know what I learned about myself in that is that the peak experiences teach you a lot, but so do the painful experiences, and we shouldn't be judging them for one is better than the other. And one thing that I learned through, you know, those communications with Source, my angels or whatever you want to call them, that collective energy, was that experience, that peak experience, that unconditional love and light experience, it's not going to stay with you to that degree, that full immersion experience forever. And it's not supposed to. And part of my contract in being here on this earth and doing, you know, doing this mission that I have is it's the fast track, in a way, that sometimes I feel that I'm going to the highest of highs and the lowest of lows, so that I can release things that need to be released, karmas, negative information from other lifetimes, so that I can, you know, reach that level of enlightenment. What is enlightenment? Well, I'll tell you when I get there, I guess. I'll tell you when I get there. This is a long video, I know. I'm gonna maybe put this in part 1 and part 2. But here's the thing. And I think this is okay. This is a long video because it's a long topic. Thing about it is, I have a lot more respect for people that are teaching the true teachings. Master Lin, Thich Nhat Hanh is one that I love. Dalai Lama is one that I love. Eckhart Tolle is one that I love. There's more, but those are some of the main ones. And you know what? They all have gone through all of those experiences, and to the highest of highs and the lowest of lows. It's part of it. It is part of it. And you know, I think right now the challenge is that not everybody has gone there, and so you can't expect everyone to meet you there. It is a personal journey, and I understand that. But the only one that's able to see where I really reside and where I'm going has been my teacher, Master Lin, and I'm so grateful to have him. And he's really been there for me in so many ways my entire life, and he sees where I'm going, and he's able to meet me where I am as well, and it's been so powerful. And two of my best friends, she and Doris, they have been amazing. Shout out to you guys as well. Two really amazing people as well that have been through that and have been there for me as well, able to meet me there, and also that are practicing the teachings of all-inclusiveness. I'll just put it that way. But my desire to make the net larger people that I can connect with. Where I am now, that desire continues to grow. And it can only grow if I share about it, which is why I am. I guess the fear in posting and talking about these things is that it's going to be taken the wrong way, or that, you know, I'm asking for something, or that I'm being dramatic or something, I don't know, something weird like that. And it's not that way, and I don't want it to be taken that way. But you know, that has been reaction of many people around me, is, oh, there she goes again, she's talking about that stuff and blah blah blah. And you know, the only thing I have to say to that is, you know, unless you have gone through it, you will have no idea. And I don't take that lightly, and I don't blame anyone for that reason. I'm the only one that can see from this vantage point, I suppose, but at the same time, the human experience is the human experience, and it touches everyone in some ways that unify us. And I have no interest in allowing these things to take me down. It won't, but I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to I guess I'm not going to plaster you know, a spiritual quote you know, on something if it's not true at the time, or if it doesn't feel to be true. It's true, but do you feel it at the time? Maybe not. I'm not going to sit there and be upbeat when I don't feel like it. And you know, I hope you stick around for that. This is the real life vlogs for awakening. This isn't the Deepak Chopra quotes for inspiration here. So know that this is what we're here for. So I suppose I will gain subscribers and lose subscribers, and that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that we're telling a real story. We're creating a real place here, and it is real. Okay, so I hope that didn't seem totally random. Mental health, spirituality, mostly my story, but also some universal threads there that I hope you can touch upon. Check out my Heart Sutra on iTunes. Please buy it. Please download it. Number 2, I am not doing soul readings right now, so just know that. I can refer you to a friend of mine, a couple friends of mine, if you want a reading from somebody. At this point, I'm just not ready to do that, so just know that. Number 3, what was my number 3? I'm not sure, but I guess let me know down below. Just comment. Don't even let me know anything. Just comment whatever you want. And I hope you found this helpful. If not, then I guess keep that to yourself. Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is, right? So this is a video today. That's all I got. And Whew, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about posting this, but I'm going to. So, I guess as well, if you have any kind of things that you would like me to make a video on for the future, I'm totally open to hearing that and maybe taking your requests. So anyway, hope you have a beautiful rest of your week, and again, thanks for watching, and subscribe if you haven't. Alright, bye.